Okay, so we're going to get started. And for those of you who've been on here, this is our overview. Great, so welcome. For those in the US, I hope you had a very nice holiday. Today we're talking about the topic that's on the minds of 6 billion people, which is returning to stores and safety and service before sales. We're at a point now where we'll review the worldview, but we're getting close to that moment when we'll be back in Hudson Yards and many other places. So every Tuesday, thank you for those who are joining us every week at 9 o'clock. We do On the Frontline, and our special guest is Juliana Neves, who is an incredibly talented architect, business leader, thought leader from Rio de Janeiro, and she's on the call, and she's going to be contributing a lot. She's got such a wonderful thought process for us. So where we are today is, I love this quote by Einstein. I used it last time, but Einstein said, "We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them." So the reason for this call is to bring people from around the world, and you are literally around the world. We have about 30 countries on the line, from shopping centers to tourist boards to luxury brands and so forth, and to expose and discuss what is going on in the world. We're launching what's called the World Retail Forum, and we did this based on feedback from about 1,000 people we've had on the call. We've had retailers, of course, but architects, investment banks, brands, shopping centers, tourist boards. And we're going to, the idea actually came from our Chinese partners, and what they suggested, what they like, and I love it, is basically almost like these 10-minute TED Talks, where we're going to start in Asia at 9 o'clock because it's 9 p.m. there. We're going to go through different countries in Asia, picking the best examples. Then we'll go over to Europe for the next hour, and then the United States and Latin America, Brazil, here from 11 to 12. That's about the physical endurance any of us can take in front of one of these Zoom meetings, so we figured we're pushing the limits here. But what we're going to do is have we're covering 5 topics per region. So we're going to do 10 minutes on best practice in restaurants, best practices in small businesses. And again, you can see they're going to be different best practices for department stores, best practices in regard to department stores. Of course, grocery stores, which have really not been, they've been the most experienced retail player in the marketplace in terms of, what's going on, whether you're in Carrefour in Brazil or France, you're basically, you've been operating. Shopping centers, this is the shopping center in Dubai, which has been closed, but has plans to open. So the shopping center is yet a different sort of a use case. And so that's what we're doing, and we welcome you to join. We're going to have a lot of material, and it's going to be all in one place. So for those of you who won't be traveling, because many companies like P&G and Unilever and Nestle and Samsung are not traveling, so we have put up together a virtual tour program, so you can do this almost like this Zoom call. We also have a database that if you're looking for certain types of stores, certainly you can search the database and find them. We built today's safe return to retail based on these engagement factors. And over the past 3 years, we've visited thousands of stores around the world, and we found that these 8 factors really drive retail success: the human touch, the use of technology, the store design or the store experience, the brand story, something that's memorable, employee training, the people at Disney, the people at Sephora, they're trained every day. The ability to change, and this was something we had before the pandemic, but the ability to change your business model is really very, very important. A unique value proposition. So why should I engage with you versus ordering it online? And the eighth that we added was safety, because without safety, there's no shopping. So just some reports around the world right now, in particular where Juliana is, the outbreaks of COVID are sort of multiplying. They're on an upswing. And so they're mitigating that in Rio. They're opening up the stores in 1 to 2 weeks. The same with Mexico. Mexico is next week. Russia's been a bit hit hard, and they are they're trying to get it under control. Europe is pretty much stabilized at this point, as is the Middle East. India's had very few cases compared to the rest of the world, and we discussed New Zealand and Australia last week. There was a concern of a second wave in China, but that seems to be under control. So we're at probably the most stable point we've had over the last 8 weeks we've been doing these. It's a bit of a shock because we had this wonderful world, and we were doing things like this in the wonderful world, like shopping. And it's a very normal type shop, a story or a photo that you see. But this uninvited guest, I guess, dropped in, and it changed everything. And so all those people standing close together looking in the mirror or with a window rather are on these lines. And we see the same schematic almost universally throughout the world, the social distancing. But what we're hoping to do, and through some small effort of everyone on this call, get back to this, where it's normal life, and we're going to be shopping and maskless. So, not to shock you so early in the morning, but I think last week we talked about sudden inflection points, and this was Pearl Harbor. And the way that we responded was we started producing lots of these types of machines to help win the war. The point of this is that we have a very predictable way of responding to inflection points. 9/11, which is really close to me because I actually worked in the 91st floor of the World Trade Center, not that day, was an inflection point. And the way that we responded to it is kind of the way we're responding to the COVID-19. We use the tricks that we've learned before. So we get scanned, we take off our shoes, our handbags, or take our laptops out. So what you're seeing at the first wave of this is that we're going back to what works in the past. So when we talked about sort of COVID-19, it's really safety, and it's washing that woman has her hand on that rail, but it's certain protocols for washing elevators and escalators. And we'll see that in great detail with a wonderful video that Juliana has provided from Asia. So it's really, how do we deal with this? And if you study the pandemics, they generally can last for a year or two. And the way that we're responding, the Western world, the Eastern world, the world, is very much like the way we responded in World War II and also at 9/11. There are at least 10 different vaccines that are promising, 4 that are especially promising right now. So we're doing that. We are ramping up our distribution capability and also our production capability. And this is, I say us, but this is us meaning the world. And typically, historically, production can take between 6 and 36 months. So we're trying to shorten that. The White House introduced Operation Warp Speed, which is infusing resources into the pharmaceutical industry and using the military's transportation capacity to get this 6 billion doses produced and distributed globally like never before. So the trials are underway. There's a phase 2 trial. So this will ultimately sort of end or at least to mitigate the issue, but we still have the issue. And so there's testing going on, as you know. And what's interesting is that when we talk about the 7 or now 8 habits, the ability to change has been one that has been remarkable and almost instant. When in the United States and in Brazil and Europe, companies like Carrefour and Walmart use their parking lots and their facilities to actually do testing of shoppers. So, incredible innovation during this period of time. And, but basically in order to get shopping, we sort of have to go by the 8 different rules that motivate people to shop. So the first is the human touch. And because we have been very successful for 200,000 years working in groups of people, the human touch is really important, and Juliana has some really good ideas on that. The next one is using technology. For those of you who are on the call in the technology area, I spoke to a German CEO, one of the largest retailers in Europe, and he said, quote, "Everything that we were planning to do in the next 5 years, we're going to be doing in the next 12 to 18 months. So for those of you in the technology area or in the process area or in the store design area, buckle your seatbelt, because it's not all doom and gloom. And it's exactly like venues like the World Retail Forum and these half-hour huddles every week that will help us see these opportunities and to recognize them and respond. This is the brand story, and this is an example of that particular diamond necklace is at Tiffany on Fifth Avenue. And that happens to be the diamond necklace that was worn by Audrey Hepburn at Breakfast at Tiffany. So the idea of a brand story, and there are, Juliana is going to be talking about camp towards the end of the presentation. So it's the brand story, it connects it. It makes that not just a diamond, but a story. There's also employee training. Companies like Sephora, like Walt Disney Company, they have rigorous training programs. Brooks Brothers, probably the most successful retailer with over 220 years in business, has what's called CARE, which is their acronym for customer care. So employee training is critical. Also, the ability to change. Within a very, very quick time, many of the large companies change their distribution from in-store to pickup or multimodal, basically. We call it multimodal. And then the idea, and Juliana has some brilliant ideas to share with you on the unique value proposition that everyone, that a sales associate empowered can do a lot of curation. And Ben talked about that two meetings ago. Of course, safety, and then this is almost like the airlines, except it's a temperature scan. So some of the tricks we learned from 9/11, we're going to be employing here. So again, it's all about safe shopping, and there are, the NRF has a wonderful piece on it. So does Kroger. There's lots of guidelines. Almost every retail organization in the world has safe shopping guidelines, which are well underway. Some of this can be seen, in different stores. It can be manifested through spacing, as we see here in Singapore, or it can be, manifested here in Brazil. And this is one of Juliana's slides. Or it can be at a local Starbucks where there's social distancing and also a lot of spacing and a lot of cleaning and distancing. And of course, there's the human smile. And this is a wonderful slide that Juliana provided. And this is a person who, they lip read, and it's for the hearing impaired. And so there is a lot of creativity, especially from Brazil. Brazil, I'm so happy to have Juliana on the call because Brazil is one of the most creative cultures out there, and there's just lots of great ideas. And so we're seeing the social distancing in China. This is Shanghai. It's becoming a little bit relaxed, so people aren't quite so 6 feet apart, but that's a little bit more advanced. And ultimately, we want to bring the shopper back, and some of these techniques will help facilitate that. So this is a really wonderful overview. It's about 2 minutes. Don't blink. It's really very special, and it could be the future of shopping. And then we'll turn it over to Juliana. So that's a lot to absorb. And what better person to guide us through this than Juliana Neves, who will talk to us about learning the best practices in store design to boost shopper confidence going back to retail. Juliana, over to you.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, everyone, for being here today with us. So I'm an architect, I'm a retail designer, and I really think we should rethink our premises to building new brick and mortar stores, right? So Daniel asked me to put on a brief presentation on what we believe in Brazil and as well as in the world. What are the new directions, the new ways we can build safe and interesting brick and mortar stores. So next one, please, Daniel. So what's the new role of a brick and mortar store? And is it really new? Next one. Should we be talking about the new role, or is the COVID only a catalyst of change that should have been working, should have been changing already? We should have been rethinking for some time. And there are a few examples in the world, especially in New York, which is like a place I really love, Manhattan, and the new Camp store. It's all about retailtainment. They have services, they have experiences, they host parties, they sell products, they have food. So it's really a 360-degree approach to entertainment in retail. So the role of a brick and mortar store should always have been to provide what the online can't. So Camp is a wonderful example for a small amusement park combined with parties and products and services. So it's a great example at this time of what should we be thinking about doing. And they have also secret passages that unlock, like exclusive places in the store. Next one, please. So it's all about amusement, and it's all about getting yourself to do in the brick and mortar store what can be done online. So Nike Fifth Avenue. I've been there in January this year, and they had a partnership with Kyrie Irving, and they had this court on the ground floor of the store that you would book an appointment, and you would test your sneakers, and they would have all your body measures so that you would understand how you're jumping and how the sneakers are helping you. Next one, please. To achieve your goal. So it's all about entertainment, and it's all about retail. And this is Show Foods, and Show Foods, they say they are the most interesting store in the world, and they have like this very simple slide that for you to go from the third to the second floor. So it's all about experience. Next one, please. So it's all about experience. It's all about amusement, and you see, they even write that on their shop window. Next one. And Bel Campo is also a restaurant in Hudson Yards, just opened. And what I really think is great about this example is that they have different levels of convenience. And we're always in a hurry, and sometimes we're not always in a hurry. Sometimes we want to take some time and eat a la carte. So they have, next one, please. They have the part of the restaurant, which is a la carte. And then they also have, next one, the grab and go onto your right-hand side. They have this grab and go if you're in a hurry. And just in front, they have fast food with wraps and hamburgers and things like that, sandwiches. So you can order online. They have a small buy online, pick up in store. So they have some small shelves where you can pick up your order that you have done online. You can have the grab and go. You can sit for a rest, or you can have the fast food. So it's all about convenience in this new store, new Bel Campo store. And they also have, next one, please, the products they sell with the recipes so that you can take away and then cook yourself at home. Next one. And also Nordstrom, they have recently opened this small store on the Upper East Side in Manhattan. So, and it's all about service. So they have tailor, they have shoe repair, they have like, it's also a community hub. So they have baby stroller repair, they have gift wrapping, you can buy up over there, and if it's a gift, you can wrap and customize your gift. They have stylist consultancy. So they have a few, they have the shop the look with a QR code so that if you like any look, you can shop online. So it's like a service point, right? So that you don't have to travel all to, they're recently opened as well, huge store next to Central Park. So South Central Park. And IKEA has done something similar as well. Next one. And also you have Hafa store, which is a cycling community hub. So it's they sell bicycles, they sell products related to cycling. They host events related to cycling. They have marathons that start from the store and go all the way through Manhattan. Next one, please. So they are like a place of gathering for people that love. And the same as Fluid Project. They have just closed the store, but they used to be a gender-free store. So they would have like a small auditorium in the back so that they would have lessons and talks all about gender-free and equality and everything. So it's a gathering point for, gathering is not like that advised lately, but we will go back to that because we're social people, right? So next one, please. And also you have curatorship. In this first stage of reopening retail, I honestly believe that we won't be able to browse for that much, like displays packed with clothes, because you won't put your hands on the hangers and everything. So curatorship, you will have less maybe less products in the store, but they would be well explained. So that's La Fleur, which is a brand for working women. And what they do is that they optimize your time in the store. So you book an appointment and you have the looks already set up for you. So you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Next one, please. They also teach you how to have the perfect wardrobe, what they call the 40-40-20 wardrobe, which 40% is everyday, comfortable clothes. 40%, other 40% are elevated clothing, and then you have the showstopper for the last 20% of your clothes. So that's all about education of teaching your customer how to wear your product, how to match it with previous items you already have bought from that company. So they have your profile. Next one, please. What they do is that here's what you can expect from your appointment. Your stylist will prepare your time together by reading through any previous orders or styling history you have. You'll start your appointment by voicing any styling priorities or gap in your wardrobe. Your stylist will then share suggestions she has prepared for you based on her assessment of your profile. This time is meant for you, so your appointment can be dynamic and evolving, a dynamic and evolving conversation. So the first step is to arrive, and you will find a curated closet in the dressing room, all that fits your size. They have all your measurements already. So step 2, you would work with your stylist, and then step 3, they would have, you would buy the items you want, and they will have it shipped for your home, to your home or to your work. So that's all about convenience, curatorship, education, retailtainment as well, right? Next one, please. And it's all about sensory engagement. I personally love this example because it's one of the best stores in the world for me. I think that Starbucks, what they did in this store, I mean, all the Starbucks Reserve Roastery stores, but it has always something to do with sensory engagement. You have coffee beans going from the stylist to the baristas. You have them, it's like the Willy Wonka of coffee. You can hear the noise of the beans going around those tubes. You can feel the smell of the coffee being roasted. It's just amazing. I don't know if you had the opportunity to visit the store, but it's a must go. And next one, please. It's all about education as well. So this is something that the store can provide, which is like much more immersive than any online education. It's all about learning how to, roast the bean, to pick the bean, to choose between one kind of coffee and another kind of coffee, understanding the differences, understanding the temperature. So all the staff is always to smile at you and teach you how they do, and they're doing it like in front of you. So it is an educational experience as well. And I really think that just as La Fleur, Starbucks Reserve Roastery is an opportunity for Starbucks to teach how the customer should buy and use their product, let's say, right? The best way. Next one, please.
Yeah, and we just launched a poll, so if you have any questions, if you could answer the questions on the poll, that'd be fantastic. Appreciate that.
And the same happens at Apple, right? They have Today at Apple, which are like some sets of classes for you to learn how to use your camera and take the most of your product, right? So this is part of the educational role of the store. So, and it's happening in the brick-and-mortar store, right? So this is part of the experience of Apple. Next one, please. Also transparency, and this is also part of what I believe is a bit of brand story. Because once you understand how the product is made, by who it is made, where, and how many people were involved, and all the works it takes to, I don't know, design a sneaker or something like that, or maybe a t-shirt or anything as simple as shorts or something like that, you get involved with the process. So over the process, you create brand value. You create, you understand the value of that product, you understand the value of a specific collection, and then you understand the value of the brand. So you become a brand lover. So next one, please. So this is Nike, Fifth Avenue, these two examples, and this is the, you can see in the background, that's a sketch from Kyrie Irving sneakers, and this is like the sole of the tennis shoe. Next one, please. So I just want to leave some few thoughts with you guys today, because of course safety is an issue. Of course it is like the basic premise we should start working on in this first stage, in this first phase. Next one, please. But we shouldn't lose the pleasure of going shopping. So you can have like an acrylate or something shield between you and your friend, right? Or next one, please. You could try a design solution which is more interesting, and you have a greenhouse next to a river. Of course, we don't have, it's not anywhere you can do that. But what I mean is that design can be used to solve problems, and to solve even bigger problems than like safety. So this is what we're talking about, like keeping an eye on the pleasure of retail. Because if it's all about safety, and if it's all about the transactional act of buying, you don't need to go to a brick-and-mortar store. You have the buy button in your cell phone, in your pocket. So that doesn't make us go through the journey of maybe taking a train, going into a shopping center, going into a store to buy something. So it's all about the pleasure, and we should always think about the pleasure involved in shopping. We shouldn't forget about that. Of course, safety is important. It is more important now than it has ever been, but we should, the ones that are safety will be the basics. So if you have safety with design, you will move forward faster than others, right? Next one, please. So I would just leave you with this last sentence, this last quote that says that design is not concerned with objects, but with the impact that those objects have on people. So we should be concerned on the impact we have on people. Safety first, of course, but we shouldn't forget all the pleasure of shopping. Next one, please. And I just want to share with you a small ebook we did at Cubi Arquitetura, which is our design studio, and which is available at that QR code. I will also share it with Daniel. So if you want to share it with all the participants, that would be great, Daniel.
Thank you. Thanks, Juliana. This is, yeah, I love the Brazilian point of view. There's no limits on things. All the curation, the creativity, the design, and the safety are all part of making this successful. So we have time for some questions. If you have questions, just please send us a quick chat. We do have a question regarding design and safety, and what's the most important factor? Is it letting people experience the safety in the store, or is it something where it's the cleaning of the in the store? Is there one priority versus another? Design?
I can't hear you that well, Daniel. Could you just repeat it, please?
Oh, okay, no trouble. So what I was saying is you showed a lot of examples, and do you see the shopping being like M Fleur, which is basically, everything is curated, and you had, I mean, you had a really terrific shot. I'll just show it here, where the shopper is going to the store, and everything in the store has been sort of meticulously laid out, and it seems like this. So if you were going shopping, and you know, and you said, well, look, I want a wardrobe. Do you see that curatorship being one of the drivers of personalization?
Yes, of course. I mean, we're buying as a society, right? We're buying less and better. So this is not this is not because of the COVID. I mean, this is something that retail was already going through, and probably COVID is it's only going to be a catalyst of change. So matching the things you already have in your wardrobe with a new, let's say, multi-use piece, you see? So let's say you have a scarf that you can just put it on your neck, or you could put it on your waist or something like that. So having multiple ways of wearing the same things, you know, and learning how to do it for your body, for your style, personal style, for where you work. So it's curatorship together with a service, a stylist service, and I really believe in service together with product and experience, the three of them together. And when you can, just add food as well, so that you have more traffic, more recurrent traffic into your store. So yes, I really think that, especially on stage one, where you probably will need less products. In Brazil, we are used to have like really like a packed store. Our stores are small and full of products. So for us, it's going to be a little different than from you guys in the United States, because you have bigger stores. But this is something that we will have to learn from COVID. I mean, this is a change that was already necessary in retail. You don't sell that much of all pieces. You know, you always have bestsellers. So why not selling what you're good at, right? Put your efforts into selling and explaining and teaching your clients how to buy your product that you're really good on, you know, your bestseller.
This is brilliant, because this is very much like the men's, like Suit Supply and Bonomos and Untuckit, because if I go in, if I'm looking for like everyday, and so and I think the person there has laid out a very beautiful assortment of everyday, but they also could look at elevated. They said, look, you know, you're here for everyday, that's perfectly fine. But I also provided you with some examples of elevated and showstopper in case there's something coming up. And so this person who's curated for you has really taken a lot of thought into that, into your time in the store. And so it could be that you just wanted to buy every day, but through the curation process, you're buying much more. And one last thought, or one last piece of data was there was a supermarket chain in Germany that did introduced location-based product finding, and they actually reduced the amount of time in the store by 25%. So hold your breath if you're a retailer, but it increased sales by 15%. So now this is a brilliant example of your thinking here, Juliana, and just it's wonderful. We've gotten a couple of requests for the video. That's an awesome video, and we'll provide that and some other materials from this particular session online. Chelsea will be sending everyone a video of this, and thank you so much. You put a tremendous amount of effort into this, Juliana, and we greatly appreciate your thoughts. And you know, Juliana, I do recommend, Juliana has it's one of several different materials, but her book that she's put together, the ebook, it's sort of really, it's almost required reading, because it's so it's so thoughtful. Just even the come in and wash your hands for free. That sort of makes such a big statement right there. So highly recommend, you know, contacting Juliana, and because they're a font of ideas and creativity. And we thank you. We went over a little bit over, but it's such a rare opportunity to have a talented person like Juliana. So thank you, Juliana. You did a great job. And thank you very much for everyone that's joined us. And then we look forward to seeing you again next week. So thank you. And we hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.